Hi, my name is MJ Franklin. I'm an editor at the New York Times Book Review, and as the fall approaches, one of my favorite things to do is to curl up with a big, long book. And I have 4 recommendations for you to sink your teeth into. My first recommendation is The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois by Honoré Fanonne Jeffers. The anchor story follows this young black girl, Ailey Pearl Garfield, who grows up between DC and Georgia. It's the story of her coming of age. She's grappling with a variety of family issues, but then it cuts into the story of her family history. You follow her family throughout its generations as you are watching Ailey Pearl Garfield grow up, and you bounce back and forth between all of those. It's a book that made the main character feel like a close personal friend of mine. Ailey is funny, she's rebellious, she has these complicated relationships. I love this one, I highly recommend it. It's it's 800 pages, but I think you'll love it, I promise. Go read this one. The next book I have is Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead, and this is also a nested narrative. There are 3 main stories that we follow. The first story follows a young actress. She's kind of troubled. She's kind of like at the last straw in her Hollywood career. She's working on a movie about a young pioneering pilot, think Amelia Earhart, and they're kind of turning this into a biopic. Then we flash to that pilot story, and we see her as a young girl, kind of trying to bust against the constraints of patriarchy. And then we follow her brother, who becomes a painter and has his own challenges. For me, the joy of this is the complex braiding between these really heartfelt and moving storylines. Next, I have a book that is not a braided, nested storyline, just the opposite. This is the story of one man's life told through and through, and it is so good. And that book is The Heart's Invisible Furies by John Boyne. This follows a young Irishman who is gay and closeted. And actually, we don't open with his life, we open with his mother's life. She gets pregnant out of wedlock, and we see how she is shamed by her Irish village, and that kind of shame echoes through. And we just follow him over the course of his life as he kind of accepts himself, as he kind of navigates his sexuality. I was laughing out loud at the start of this book and then sobbing at the end. It is so funny and remarkably sad, and I think that's what makes it so special. Last but not least, I have Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This is a sweeping YA fantasy series. This book is about a young girl who comes from a magical lineage, and when the book opens, magic has been squashed by this kingdom's monarchy, and all of a sudden there's a chance that magic can be restored, and plot twist, our protagonist is at the center of that. That's only the first book. This is part of a 3-book series that just actually wrapped up, and so if you want more after this long novel, there is more. In addition to just like the thrills of this fantasy story, this is a really potent metaphor for race and racism in America, the impacts of slavery. And so this book is doing so much. It's giving you all of this fun and these thrills, but it's also making you think about these deep social issues. And then there's just a lot of good magic. And there you have it. Here are 4 long books that I think you'll love. I certainly love. And if you're looking for more book recommendations, be sure to check out the New York Times Book Review online.